how did you get from music though to coming into this arena where you're dealing with food though? What made you make that transition? What made you leave music, right? Because there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
continue
Oh
into
yeah.
music and do great things in that, right, in that field, in
Mhm.
that genre. But why did you leave and say, okay, I'm gonna go over here into this arena of being a cook, being a chef?
Man, that's so interesting. Let me go back. Since the age of about 8,
Mm-hmm.
I've I used to watch my mom cook in the kitchen, and I'm seeing her. She's measuring stuff with the teaspoons and the measuring cups and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and so that just that just piqued an interest
Mm-hmm.
in me at an early age. And so at first, I'm just trying to get in the kitchen to sneak and eat the food and stuff. But but over time, I was like, huh, how does she put this together and measure it and it come out like this? And so she began to see that, oh man, he has a interest in it. He's not just trying to come and sneak and eat the food and heck the bowl, after she made some pie.
Right, right,
so
right.
so she began to teach me the basics. And
Mm.
so at the age of about 10, man, I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking meals, man. I'm
Wow.
creating
10 years old.
creating my own stuff. And so from there, man, high in my high school yearbook, this was so interesting. Is that I think I was probably like 30 something. So
Mm-hmm.
I look back like, man, what were my goals and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, I had almost accomplished all of them. I
Wow.
said I wanted to be a chef. I said I wanted to have my own restaurant.
Mm.
I said like all of these things, man. And so has some other thing too. It's good to make goals early, you know,
Mm.
and to look back to see how have I accomplished goals?
Right, right,
Am I near accomplishing them?
right.
And so then uh this is what happened. I was like, man, I'm be a chef. I'm going to school after high school because that was my goals. And so 99, man, and then Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
there were no cooking schools back then
Really?
that that were near me.
Gotcha.
And so I went on the internet and I searched, and it was like the closest school was in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, I don't have the money to go there, then to pay to go there.
Right.
So I literally, and this is something, man, that people should not do. Always pursue your dreams. Find a different method. Don't just stick to only one. Because if that doesn't work, then it's like, oh, I gotta, I have to give up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I did. I said, man, the school is too far. Who is going to help pay? Like, I didn't even really put forth the big effort to see,
Mm.
is it a way to make payments? Can I get it through financial? Like, I just gave up at what I thought would
Mm.
work. And so man, I got into the 9 to 5s and did all of that. And so the music thing, man, 2006, after
Mm.
one of my sisters died, my dad had died, and another sister died. And so I was depressed, man. I stopped listening to any music. I was just in this deep depression.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I came out of that and I got back into like singing and music. And I was like, man, I want to make beats and rap and do this and that. So Now cooking and stuff, that was so far. I still cooked,
Right.
but me trying to learn and do it better and be a chef, like all of that was just far
That dream,
gone.
you lost that dream in a sense.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
you.
I
Mm.
did, and so I started to pursue music. I was trying to come up with a whole new genre. It was gonna be called positive music, you know.
Oh, okay.
And so man, I was pushing that thing hard.
She's creating your
I
own lane.
Yeah, and so I was literally about to put together this huge festival, man. Like musicians, I'm paying people to be a part of this, and this was like 2013,
Hmm.
and so had the money to fund it, like everything was set, man. And so God took me on this men's retreat,
Hmm.
and He began to show me. How was a group tells them how to come up and sing, rap, or whatever. And so I just had this urge, man, that I had to go to the bathroom, just all of a sudden. So as in the bathroom, God just began to show me that the music, what you're doing is not bad
Hmm.
necessarily, but for me, it was not what He wanted me to do. And
Mm.
so He began to just show me and say, "Hey, can you give this up?" And I was like, "Yeah, Jesus gave up everything for me." And so, but God had to say, "Well, hey, after you give this up, go and do this." And so I gave it up, and I'm just kind of waiting, like, "Ah, what do I do now, God?" And so for a couple of months, He didn't say anything. I'm praying, I'm
Mm.
saying, "Well," and then for me to drop that event, people were like, "Dude, how are you doing this?" And I'm like, at the time, I literally ran out of money, so that was
Mm.
an excuse to kind of give. I'm sure people found out after why I
Right.
decided how to. But yeah, so I stopped that, and then God brought me into true ministry for me.
Mm.
And so that was just spreading the gospel. Like I was hanging the CDs at first. Now I'm doing DVDs
Mm.
of man sermons and man,
Right.
I think I was able to get out about 6,000
Wow.
DVDs all over the world, man.
Wow. That's
I I
awesome.
think I think it was probably only two places that I didn't hit was like China and Japan, but man,
Mm.
Australia, New Zealand, Africa.
Mm.
I mean, that was a blessing, and so I'm I'm doing that, and so I'm here in Huntsville working at Oakwood,
Mm. Mm.
and so a person came to work there, and they said, "Man, you're really good at cooking and doing this thing. Why don't you go back to school?" I was like,
Mhm.
go back. I mean, I kind of used up all of my financial aid, or so I thought.
Right.
And so I'm skipping a part. I'm gonna go back to it though, but
Okay.
um, so I'm like, really go back to school. So I pray on it, and Holy Spirit's like, well, just see, can you go?
Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.